everything get rocky in my life, I still come out with. They be like, T, you help me with my pen every time they take my phone. Fix my speaker, I was just broke, I still smile when they call me GOAT.
You out there, some females come, now y'all out there. Now it'll be about 6 o'clock. Now y'all out there all day. What you did that day? What did they do that day?
Waste time.
On the block all day, doing what? But that's what that's the only people like. Some people only know that though, like that's their life every day.
Realize I don't got no money. Realize I want some money. Make a decision. Go get a job. Change. Start working. Stacking up that paper. Your progress was you realized, you made a decision, and then you made a change.
Yes.
So to me, I feel like if I realize I have a generational curse, the first thing I would do is make the decision to break it. And then you have to actually change, put in the work to actually, make a difference. Cause
How do you think they could break it? Like, how you think they could break a curse? Like, break something that's been going on? Like,
Well,
that they're just teenagers. Like, they can't really do nothing.
you're right, they're teenagers, but they also know right from wrong.
My name is Jay,
and I'm Chris.
and we in Lunch and Legacy, and today we got some top crab.
It's harder to love me, y'all don't understand.
Hey,
Y'all
I ain't gonna lie.
judge me, but you find my
Talk about our topic today. We're gonna talk about some generational curses. So, what is like a generational curse? Like, what would you think a generational curse is?
Like, so me personally, like when we speak on generational curses, I see it as like a pattern to like something that keep repeating throughout generations. So that can stem from your grandparents, your mother or father, or shoot, even way before them. You feel me? So it's like a cycle. It's a continuous cycle that you keep failing. You feel me? So generational curse is like, it's called a generational curse for a reason. So that's not something you really want to keep in cycle. You want to try to break it. You feel me? So yeah.
So, do you think it's some? Do you think every family has a generational curse, some sort of type of generational curse in their family tree? Like, definitely. Like, do you think? Like, what you think? Like, do you think? What are some in yours? Like, what do you think?
So, me personally, I feel like a generational curse is like the man in my family. I feel like a lot of my family members like end up doing like drugs, like some type of drug, like no matter the seriousness, like weed or anything. Like that could be a generational curse. What about you?
I want to say getting incarcerated before 18. A lot of my family, a lot of my family was incarcerated or been locked up before 18. But yeah,
So speaking on that, we got a whole third party view into the generational curses on somebody else's opinion other than us two. So we can cue that in right here.
I'm Jay.
Victor.
Yep. And then, so basically we just here to, kind of interview and get a different perspective on, on generational curses. So basically, I got a couple questions, and we just gonna go off that. So basically, what do you like? So do you think it's more like an environment thing or like a personal thing on like the decisions you make as you like growing up, that decision you made growing up, like, was it because of the environment you was in, or is it like what, or is it like, you know, you knew what some things could lead up to, but you know, is it you just couldn't get away from it, or is something that you did, you're like, or you know, trying to.
Well, for me, it was both, because I know right from wrong, and by me living in the area where things was going on, I made my decision. I wanted what they had, because coming from a big family that I didn't have at the time, so I made that decision to go out there and try to get it myself. And that was a poor decision I made on my behalf. But you know, after years and years went on, I still took to that glamorous life instead of making the better choices.
So you seen other people that looked like they had it, and you wanted to be where they was at.
Just like those. I want to be better than what they was out there doing. But, you know, with that type of game, either jail or death.
So you think they went through that, but they succeeded in it, or they took a different route and had succeeded in it, where they took the same kind of, or was doing kind of the same things you was doing, but then it didn't have the same outcome as the way it did for you?
Well, back then when we was doing that, it was like a recycle. You know, things that you go in, you come back out, you do the same thing all over again. It's like you was stuck doing the same thing instead of us just stopping, thinking. You know, it's always a way of getting away from that, but we didn't want to do that.
Because it's where you from, it's what you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, so like, yeah, like, so, just what you thinking?
Shoot, I'm thinking like, basically, the environment is definitely an issue when it comes down to this type of situation. But on top of that, he said he made the wrong decision. So that means at the end of the day, it's still all about your mindset at the end of the day. So like, based off like what you just said, and you being a father and a grandfather, like what advice would you give someone like me or Jay, or even like any young kid that could have been your situation?
Well, for like the younger generation, they like everybody else, they got to make their own right decision. Even though you see the glamorous stuff, that don't mean you got to do what they do. It's, you always can put yourself in a good situation. Like I know a lot of young brothers and sisters that lived there and they did the right thing. So that's why I said it was my decision to make that bad mistakes. I choose to do what I did. I can't blame nobody but myself, because I knew right from wrong. I just wanted the quick money, and I paid for that quick money by going to jail, doing a lot of time, but still, I had an opportunity to come home and do the right thing, but I kept choosing the wrong way.
So basically it's like, you just gotta surround yourself with better people. It's about who you surround yourself with.
Not even that. Not even that. Because like I said, I knew a lot of young kids that went to medical school,
Mm-hmm.
living there.
But still was around everything.
Yeah, it's
You just at a certain point.
You got to make that decision for yourself.
Yeah.
Not to follow nobody, be a leader.
Right. Can't be a product of your environment.
Yeah.
And do you think, like, so after you went to jail, so like, push come to shove, I'd say about how many times do you think you went to jail?
I went to jail about 6 or 7 times. It's been half of my life now.
So, being there 6 or 7 times, do you think, like, after the first 2 times, do you think it became more of a cycle then, or later on? Like, when did you, like, become accustomed to it?
I got, as we call it, institutionalized at my second go around, because it was like you get 3 meals in the cop, you got everything that the street got, and you know it was at that time it was fun. To me, it was fun because I had just as much good time I did in there than I did on the streets. That's that crazy thinking.
And you think that's where people mess up? Like, people would be in the streets, go to jail, and nothing would happen to them in jail, and they think, oh, well, jail ain't nothing, so, you know, I'm go back out and do the same thing. I don't care if I get caught, because, I mean, shoot, it wasn't nothing the last time.
Yeah, because,
So it's like,
see, back then, you know, you go to jail, if you're going out of prison, you're getting a job, you got money coming in, your commissary stacked, you got your friends, and it's just like you on the streets. You got your drugs down there too. It's just, once you say you're comfortable with being locked up, that we call it institutionalized. And it's sad to say is they basically, to me, they put that stuff on the street so you can live that lane so they can make money off you once you go back and forth to jail. That's all it is. That's why I say it's a recycle. They're making money off you.
So basically, go back to the generational curse, and it's like generational. So it's like, in order to break it, it's like, you just can't follow the same route. And it's like, it's people that's in the environment of the streets, and it's like, generational curses is so easy to start, or it's been going on for years. Not even start, just continue. So what do you think having a positive role model in your family, like, well, outside your family, how do you think is like, how is that, you think it's good to have like a positive role model outside your family that you could just like, you know, go to outside different that you know you ain't gonna.
Well, the role models, I look back then, I didn't have no role models, you know, but it's always good to have a good person on that side so he can give you the advice in the work trade and not what to do and how to do this. But it's a role model.
How about this? So instead of a role model, how would you think you would have came out if you had like a mentor of some sorts, like somebody to help you and guide you? You think it would have been easier, or you think the same conclusion would have happened?
Well, I think the same would have happened because
So
my stepfather, my moms, they were good role models, and they taught me from right from wrong, but I choose to go down that lane.
Okay. And so, did you have your father in your life? Your real father? Guys, I heard you say step.
Well, my real father, no, I didn't get to know him till later in my life.
Okay. So, do you think having him would have had a difference? Would have made a difference?
No,
You don't think so?
no. It's, he probably would have made a better part in my life, but
Like certain things he could have got you out of, or certain things like just even just being there telling you like, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that.
I don't think so. Because my stepfather and my brothers and them, they was telling me the same thing not to do. I still did it.
So why do you think people continue unhealthy patterns knowing that it's harmful for them?
Well, for me, I think people got to basically learn on their own. I can go out there and try doing that, and it don't work, then I always can change my ways and go the right way. It's just, people see things they want it real quick, and by doing the things we did, the money was real fast, and before you know it, you say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this one time." You end up getting caught up.
All right. Yeah, after that, that's where it becomes a cycle.
Then you already got it. I'm going home to get this money. And then
So, all right. So, how do you think teenagers can break or stop? Like, how do you think they could break it? Like, how do you think they could break a curse? Like, break something that's been going on? Like,
well,
they're just teenagers. Like, they can't really do nothing.
you're right. They teenagers, but they also know right from wrong.
Yeah.
I don't care if they.
But it's also like this. Some people, you don't know. Like, everybody got different situations. So some people could be in the situation you was in where they just, just don't listen. But some people just like, that's where they have nothing else, literally. There's nothing else to do but be in the street, smoke, be with the people on the block, hang on the block all day. I mean,
kids just been kids, because some of them got a good family. Moms and pops is there at home.
for sure.
And they choose to still do the same thing. So
yeah.
they got to learn, at their young age, I understand you want to have fun, you want to do things, you want to go out. I don't know. That's the young generation seem like they got their own mind. You can't really say nothing to them. Back when we was coming up, the old timers used to tell us not to do this, not to do that. Then we had our neighbors. Then we had the neighbors down the neighbors, and they all used to whoop our butt, send us home when them street lights come on. But we still choose to do the wrong thing. So it ain't no different right now. Kids, but nowadays you can't say nothing to the young kids,
Right.
because they different than we were. See, when we was out there, we might get in a little fight here and there. Somebody get beat up and come back the next day, y'all friends. But nowadays, if you say something slick to a young boy, you beat him up, he coming back and shoot you. It's a whole different atmosphere is going on. But you still got a lot of young people that out there that's still doing the right thing though.
Facts.
It's only a couple that's misled, following other people, doing what other people do. And you still got a lot that's doing the right thing.
Facts.
So, like with everything that you're saying, like especially like in the last part, I'm kind of catching that like with generational curses, right? You know, for it to continue, it starts with you.
Yeah, it definitely start with you because you the only one that can change you. Oh, the other things can change you.
So you were saying like other things can change you. Like, can you give some examples?
Well, other things can change. It's like still looking at the things that you see what's going on. There's other things like you can involve yourself in Job Corps, that you can pick up a trade, or you can, if you don't want to do that, you can. It's a lot of agencies out there where you can get your career started working. It's a lot of different things that you can do besides picking up bad side. You know, it's up to the kid that want it and want to change their life.
Facts.
Because you got some kids out there that, don't get me wrong, the parents might be doing their best, but say it's just the mom and the kid know he can run over mom, he's gonna make his decision gonna be crazy because when mom at work, kid out there the street. And basically he ain't got another eye on him, so he figure he can do what he want to do. But it's like you said, it's up to him to make that decision, because it's a lot of things you can do instead of making that bad decision. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things.
Right, it's like this kid, like, you could be on the block. You don't gotta be selling weed. You go out there and cut some grass.
Yeah.
Cut some grass, wash some cars.
All you need is a lawnmower.
It's people out there. It's people. It's kids. And we ain't even gonna just take away from the kids that is doing the right thing too. Like kids that is doing the right thing. You know, like washing cars. Like it's a lot of ways to make fast money the right way.
Right.
So
especially the kids that got their license. You can do Uber, you can do Lyft, you can deliver food, taxi. It's a lot of, and if you can drive for old people, drive the old people around all day. That's a nice career. You can go get into transit. You know, be a guy that clicks tickets on the train before you get that record. When you then, if you get that record, you ain't gonna be able to do none of that. That's why I say you got a license, go get your CDL's license. That's a good career. Go get them little grants that's just sitting there waiting on y'all to get it. Where nobody go get it, it goes back to the state. That's where they get all that money from. Take advantage, go use that. Go get your CDL license, go get your bus license. Do something. Make them use that grant to send you to school. A lot of y'all don't want to go back to school. That's why a lot of them don't do it.
a lot of people don't want to work either. That's the problem.
Get your own.
People, it's that fast money.
Get that grant, get you a nice little truck, sell food. There's other ways to make money.
I feel like everything you saying is like it's not hard as long as you put your mind to it. So, you know, a lot of people can be breaking in generational curses, but they're not really putting their mind to it. They're comfortable. They're comfortable with their generational curse, and that's really one of the biggest issues when it comes down to it.
So, what do you think, like, you know, you're not having a role model. how did that affect you on raising your kids?
Well,
Or not a role model, but not having a father in your life.
see, I can't even really say that because my stepfather was there in my life. So, basically, he had us on the right track. It's just the decision I made. It wasn't nobody's fault but my own. It wasn't my parents. It was none of their fault. Cause my brothers and them, they did real good. I just didn't follow their footsteps. I did what I wanted to do.
And so do you think you doing what you wanted to do started issues for your bloodline that you created?
Yeah, of course. Because I basically wasn't there for my son,
So back then to generational crisis, as you say you wasn't there for your son. You wasn't there. Well, so your father wasn't there for you. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't there for your son. But at a certain point, when your son had kids and be in their life, so basically would be breaking one.
breaking a cycle.
Breaking a cycle.
Cycle generational curse.
All right. So it's a lot of different things, a lot of different ways, a lot of different things, a lot of different,
A lot of different things that you can classify as a generational curse. And
Right.
do you feel like that was one in your case?
Well, I really see. I got a different look at it because I could say my father wasn't there, but my stepfather was. I could say I wasn't there for my son, but somebody else was. It's the path that we choose. Even though it was hard, the kids gonna look at it, they ain't got the money, so of course they're gonna take the easy way out.
Basically,
The whole thing is, how can we get the young kids to change their thinking? That's the whole thing.
you think, get them out the environment, or like,
It's not the environment.
so you think they gonna move and do the same thing? Like if they not, so you think if people would take their kids, move to a different place, and saying it is another hood, you think, I mean, it just depends on the person. Like most,
Well, it's got lifestyle got a lot to do with it. Cause if say you live in the hood, you're gonna get adapt what's going on in the hood. But if you move out of the hood, say like a suburb or somewhere,
so you think you still gonna do the same thing in the suburbs?
I really can't say. Cause once you move and see people doing different things, you might adapt to doing different things. But it still come down to,
So you think you started doing something. You started doing something because you seen people doing it, and moving. Those people not around you. So you do see more. You do see different people doing different things. So it's like, would you like, if you was to move out the hood when you was little, do you think it would have been a different outcome? Like,
no, not really. Cause I was raised in North Carolina, and I moved back to Jersey. It's not where you live at. It's what you gonna do.
Mm.
How you gonna better your life. Look at my life. I did half my life in jail. Now, I came home. I was working ever since. I'm retired now from the job.
Because if finally something get clipped, like you don't want to do it no more. You don't want to be in the streets.
You don't want to be in the streets. It's made a decision to change my life.
Mm-hmm. Some people
It's never too late to change. Long change and not keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's sad that it took me so long, but I did it.
So your progress was you realized, you made a decision, and then you made a change.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like if I realize I have a generational curse, the first thing I would do is make the decision to break it.
Yeah.
And then you have to actually change, put in the work to actually, make a difference. Because, there's no, you can't just say, oh, I want to be a football player, and you only watch film, and then you go out on the field. You're still going to be butt. So,
train.
You actually got to put in the work to actually make change, make progress.
That's it.
So, and then stemming back on what you was just saying, even if you move somewhere else, it doesn't mean you're going to change. It takes, let's go back to football. You got to actually watch the film. Even stemming back all the way to a baby. You have to watch people and actually learn so you can get up and start walking on your own 2 feet. You have to listen so you can start speaking. So once you made up your mind to, actually watch a certain habit or lifestyle, and you're planning on living that lifestyle, no matter where you're at, no matter if you can go somewhere else and learn different things, but you're still gonna be set on what you already know.
So you're going to go in there doing the things you already do. Or you're going to go do the things you already do. Or even some of the things you already do. And it's up to you if you want to
Change or not. It's
Yeah.
up to you if you want to realize, make a decision, and change.
Yeah,
All up
because
to you.
at a certain point, you're going to be like, dang. Especially if you're in the suburbs, and it's it depends on what you're doing, because, everybody's situation not the same, so it just depends on what you're doing. But, that's really, that's how we,
That's how you grow.
yeah. All right, and we just wanted to thank our special guest for coming on the podcast and laying his business out there like that. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Realize, decide, and change. In the ways that you gotta, in the steps you gotta take to break your generational curse. A lot of people can blame it on their environment or what they're a lot of people blame it on their environment why they can't move up and break out of cycles, but it's really not the case, because you're a human being, you're just as conscious as me and him, so you should be able to make a decision after you realize, because you're going to realize it eventually. If you're addicted to something, you're going to realize it, even if you don't want to admit it, you're going to notice. So it's anything that you can realize, that means you can decide on it, to stop or keep going. And once you become accustomed to it and you choose not to stop, that's where you bound to your generational curse. Definitely not the way to go at all. But boom, you got lobster tail over there. Gotta take a bite of it before I keep talking.
Do it too.
take this strategy to him. Like,
Go.
oh my God.
Mm.
Going back to the top.
Delicioso.
Back to the top, y'all. So boom.
Delicioso.
Like, shoot. Like I said earlier in the video, like a lot of my family like fall to like drugs. So addiction basically, like, you know, you surround yourself about people that be smoking all the time or popping pills or anything, you know, that's gonna become your norm. That's gonna be something that you're gonna see as you're gonna normalize it. You feel me? Like back to episode 1, you become what you normalize. So you normalize that, and you're just gonna become accustomed to it. Like somebody might be like, "Oh, you want to try it?" You done normalize it, so you might be like, "Oh yeah." So I just
Trying it that one time, and then it come back around. And I was like, oh, it wasn't too bad the first time. So,
you know what I'm saying?
let me try it again.
So I just take the extra mile. I don't even surround myself by nothing like that. So I just stay away from that curse. You feel me? All around, like you can't even touch me. Like what you think you do to not get yourself locked up and stuff?
So, just stay out the way you came. Like I said, surround yourself with better people. Like everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't with you. Like everybody, you know, at all. Like, do you like? If you ain't just staying in the house, like you ain't even gotta just stay in the house. Like, just don't be out there doing the goofy, dumb stuff. Like, just in the mix for no reason. But you know what I do? I just stay out of the way. Like, I don't even go nowhere to begin with. Like, stay out of all. Don't even put myself in that situation to where I gotta, like, you know, protect myself or anything like that. So, yeah. So I just stay working. You know, really, working, playing the game. That's how I really do. I don't really be doing too much. Like, you know.
So you know, like a lot of people, they won't even realize it. They'll respond to something like you just said to him. They'll be like, "Oh, why you move like that?" Or like they'll say some goofy stuff to him. When that's really like the mindset that sometimes you need to have to make sure you give yourself greatness. You feel me? A lot of people don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Most of you people downfall be their mindset. Like, shoot. Another thing is like it's hard to realize something you don't know about. Like, you know, you could be just thinking, oh, it's a seasonal thing, you feel me? Like, it's something just for now. But the whole time, like, this stuff running your bloodline. So you got to be really communicating with your family. Like, you need to really find out what's like these cycles that been going on. You know, it's bigger than you, but you need to make it your issue so you can break it for yourself and any in the bloodline that you gonna stem off of correct. You feel me?
Facts.
So, like, again, realize, like, it's so easy to realize not a decision. You know, it's a couple ways you can decide. Like, maybe it ain't even stem from you. Maybe you just found yourself in a bad situation.
But what about this though? What if that's all they got? Like, what if they stay? What if people, a certain person, like, what if they outside, they in the house, they ain't got nothing to do in the house, say go outside, but what's outside? They homeboys, people they with, people they always with, you know, the block, that's with the drugs. I mean, if you put yourself around that, but, you know, people, that's why people say they're product of their environment. They ain't got nothing else to do but just be out there letting you know you talking to your friend on the porch. Then next thing you know, your partner, your homeboy come. Now you out there. Some females come. You know, now y'all out there. Now it be about 6 o'clock. Now y'all out there all day. What you did that day? What did they do that day?
Waste time.
On the block all day. Doing what? But That's what some people. That's the only people like. Some people only know that though. Like that's their life every day, and the more you do that, the more things like you ain't got nothing else to do. You just outside every day on the block, just chilling every day. You know what I'm saying? What you looking to do? Getting into something. You ain't got nothing else to do.
I mean, boom.
So now what? Like now it's like
Boom.
for people that's in situations like that, what do they do?
I mean, twin, look. Like I said, twin. You just as conscious as me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You perceive the world just like I do.
Mm-hmm. But you ain't. But also, I ain't got no guidance. I ain't got no guidance like you do though. Like I ain't got here. Like I got this. Did this on my own. Like you know.
But think about what your grandpa just said. People with guidance still end up making the same decisions people without guidance do.
Okay.
So are we really gonna really blame guidance right here, or are we gonna blame the person? Like, so boom, like I said, consciousness and awareness. Me and you can be put in the same situation, and me and you can come out on two different ends. Like, say you're the person, so me for example, boom, I'm on the block, my partner outside. You know, say you outside, me and you was in this same situation, but you was like, you not who you are right now. So me and you on the block, you outside, I pop outside. Cool, we speaking, we chilling. Shoot, two people that we know, that we associate with, boom, they come up to us too. We chopping up with them. There's some female walk by, boom. Twin. Whole time, like being accustomed to that, I'm already knowing, nah, it's not how I'm trying to spend my time. This not finna bring money in, this not finna bring nothing good in. I'm knowing if this is my living space, shoot, I know I live here, this is why I got to lay my head at night. This is where I got to report back to from my family. But it's a whole freaking city out here, you know? There's so much opportunity outside of my porch. You feel me? Mm-hmm. You can always, it's up to you to always be able to go like you. I bet the person in that same predicament still can find a way to go outside, go have some fun, go to a party. Why he ain't using them same resources to go find himself a better environment to be around to bring himself up as a person?
A job or something.
You feel me? Like, I say goddess is definitely a big part of it. But at the end of the day...
But that's the thing. That's the people, exactly. People know guidance. They don't... I mean, they know, but like people, that's all they know. Like, they don't know how to go get a job. That's what people with guidance, oh, go get you a job. Oh, come over here so we could go talk to this person. All stuff like that. Person over here, they just them, like, they ain't got no second person, third person to be there for them. Tell them to do what they need to do. So.
But let me ask you this: who told you to go get a job?
Shoot, at a certain point, I was just like, damn, I need some pay,
You feel me? At a certain point, you realized I need some pay. What did you decide to do?
Shoot, apply for jobs, but everybody don't want the work. People want fast money in that environment. They don't want to work. You think going to a job every day? What?
Okay, boom. Exactly. So boom.
Not even in just that environment. I ain't even gonna say it like that. Like
people
in general.
People in the biggest houses still choose the fast money route.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where it comes to, you're a person. You know right from wrong. Like, sure, hey, okay, cool, go get your fast money. Watch what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? It's like, shoot, no matter what you around, it's still gonna base off of, it's you. It's up to you to realize, like, I need money. It's up to you to decide fast money or legit money. Now you know we already spoke on the consequences that come with fast money. So based off that alone, and our reasoning as two 16-year-olds coming up with our own reasoning, at our own awareness and our own reasoning to pick legit money over fast money because of benefits that legit money brings instead of the cons that fast money brings. You feel me? So, like, yeah, you know, fast money easier, and you know it's more accustomed to, you know, just it's easier to just go make that fast money. You feel me? But how long is it gonna last? It's all about your decision making at that point. You feel me? Because like what you trying to bring on is if me and you in the slumps, we out on the porch and stuff, we don't got no money. You saying this because we in the slumps that we decide not to go get no job. It should be me in the slumps motivated to go work, so I don't have to be here in my near future. You feel me? It's all about the mindset in that case.
Okay.
And with one mindset, you're going to break your curses, and the other mindset, you're just going to become accustomed to them and just continue it. You know, if you continue it, then shoot, when your kids start doing the same thing, who they going to look to? They can't look to you with no mind, with no consciousness to make your own decisions without guidance. So, I mean, that's just how I feel about it. Like, you know, go back to you. I'm trying to see what you thinking based on what I said.
Shoot, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like it's right. You right. You're definitely right. People definitely got their own subconscious, and they definitely know right from wrong. They definitely know right from wrong. At a certain point of your life, even if you was in the streets, grew up in the streets, any of that, you know, even if you wasn't, you know, at a certain point of life, a certain point of time, it's like, dang, I don't want to keep living off somebody else. It's like,
Realize.
you know, I don't want to keep living off somebody else. So it's like, dang, so what you need to do next? Like, I need to go give you some money. So
Decide.
you know, what? Go get me a job. What? Go wash some cars, cut some grass. Well, it's so much things you could do. Like, it's oblivious things you could do to make money the right way without having it, you know, any legal issues, any of that. Like, it's, you know, yeah, like, for real. Like,
Yeah.
that's really it. Yeah.
So boom, that's one whole scenario. Like, in the slum, realize I don't got no money. Realize I want some money. Make a decision. Go get a job. Change. Start working. Stacking up that pay. Whole time, generational curses, no income before a certain age. You feel me? That might be your whole family. It might be some in your family just like that. You don't even know. You don't even peep it till you really start sitting down trying to think about it. Moon, you just broke a whole generational curse because you decided to realize, decide to change. Now you got money. How long you finna be in the slums now?
When you get the money, one thing, you get the money, save the money. Don't just spend the money just because you know you can get it back.
I ain't say it, twin. It's really managing.
Manage it. Money management.
Yeah.
You back on the first video.
Nah, say
You know, we ain't even gonna speak too much on that because we already, you know, go look at video one.
Go spin back.
But money management, you know, yeah, for sure. Definitely invest or, you know, figure out or try to take the time to, you know, have a certain amount for each thing. Something for yourself, something to put up, and, you know. But yeah.
That's on topic, like, boom, that was just one way. I said we could pull out like one more way, twin. Like, boom. let's think about it. Let's brainstorm real quick. Like while we brainstorming, I want you to sit back and like actually sit there and think like, what could be one of my family generational curses? That's something you gotta really think about, cause like it's in your blood. Like it's something that you actually gonna have to break eventually. If it's a generational curse, like you have to eventually like get past that. You feel me? You can still be dealing with one at any age. You can be 30 years old, still dealing with one. So, like, let's go on more like emotional. Like, you feel me? Trust issues, could that be one?
Generational curse, trust issues. Trust issues, lack of communication.
Yeah, lack of communication, definitely. Like,
I mean, people can't really. I mean, people can, but like, I don't know, they can't. I don't know.
express themselves.
Yeah, like,
You know, situations like that stem from, it could stem from childhood, for real.
child trauma, all that.
And you know, that, you know, I would say that wouldn't start with your parents, but it could stem from your parents, like being neglected. You feel me? Now that you was neglected as a child, when you grow up and have your kids, are you gonna do the same thing? Are you gonna neglect your kids the same way your parents did? Because that's the only thing you were taught. I mean, because growing up, like you know, like you gonna end up realizing, or end up being, like you gonna end up seeing, like that's not the way to do it. You feel me? There's better ways to do it. But are you still gonna fall to your generational curse and do the same thing that the ones before you kept doing? Or are you gonna break it? Okay, if you do that to your kids, what you think your kids gonna do?
At a certain point, you gotta realize. At a certain point. Certain point. But, you know,
So, like, twin, like, based on what I was just saying, twin, like, you think if you break your generational curse, right? So boom, like you was just telling me at the beginning of the video. I feel like one of your generational curses is being incarcerated before a certain age, right?
yeah.
So you think you break that generational curse, you think your kids gonna be bound to it?
For sure. Because I'm going to lead them and guide them in the direction. And before we close these things out, I just want y'all to realize these 3 things. Realize, decide, and change. Always realize, decide, and change. Always. It's never too late to change.
You feel me? Not only 2 generational curses, you can apply this to anything.
Facts. And my name is Jay again.
My name is Chris.
And we out.
Just want your legacy.